Welcome back to Root Beer Gamers.
Welcome
How'd something
back
like
to
that
Root Beer
wind up in the
Gamers.
school's garbage pit?
Look, I'm resetting the timer, sorry.
That's a rocket and a tank. Better not think too much about what I'm seeing down here. I mean, it's just all the shit we've already seen. Get the fuck over it, Makoto. This is a desk. It's probably the one that fell down here with me. Yeah, how did I crack my skull open? Because I'm the ultimate lucky student. Get the fuck out of here.
Actually, yeah, it is pretty lucky that you managed to come out.
Rattle,
of that
rattle. It's
barely
locked.
any
Rattle,
injuries.
rattle. No matter how many times I pushed or pulled or kicked, it didn't budge. Getting out of here isn't gonna be that easy. Well, if I'm not getting out of here anytime soon.
You're really
I'm a
invigorated.
war hero now. I decided to look around for some food. Fucking goddammit. There's plenty of food here, but it's all rotten. But that was pointless too. Next I searched for some water. How can I be sure which liquids I can drink and which ones are an all-around bad idea? Again, pointless. I feel like I'm blocked in on all sides. Fucking trash compactor starts happening. But that's still not enough reason to give up because...
I feel like for
Because
a
I'm
school
still
like this,
alive.
It wouldn't be a trash compactor, it'd be an incinerator.
You know what, you're
Yeah,
right.
you know.
I'd be a trash compactor and an incinerator in one.
I like to think Makoto's
Just to
growing
fuck
a
with you.
beard down
Yeah.
here.
Yeah, because it'll compact everything real small until you're almost dead, and then it'll stop, then it'll light it all on fire.
Oh my god!
As long as I'm alive, I'll never give up. After making that proud declaration, the next thing I decided to do was
Grow a beard.
go to sleep.
Oh.
It has been a while since you've had any sleep.
My sleep was deep and uninterrupted.
Yeah, that's
that was
true.
my only way to preserve what little strength I had left after not being able to eat or drink. I can't be sure, but I think at least a full day had to have passed, and all I did was sleep and sleep. It was like I was waiting for some kind of sign to come falling out of the sky. However, one did. What fell from the sky wasn't a sign, not exactly.
It was.
Crunch!
It was a sign. It says, help.
What the? A strange sound pierced my silent isolation, jarring me awake.
Here, I got it.
That's great. As I watched,
not
the pile of
dropping
garbage
anything
jostled and formed an odd shape. Did something fall down over there? Something fell from up above. What could it have been? New garbage. Did a giant piece of trash just fall down here? I carefully stretched my hand out toward whatever it was that tumbled down here with me. A
Giant piece of trash. Rude.
What? Before she even emerged from the pile of garbage, I knew who it was.
Sup? I got ramen on my head. This place smells awful. There's ramen on my head.
Kyoko!
You look like you're doing better than I expected.
What are you doing here?
Isn't it obvious? I'm here to help you.
I'm glad to hear that, Kyoko. You've got a bit of garbage in your hair. She gave her head a quick, sharp shake to get rid of the trash, and then faced me again.
Well, it's better. First, I have something for you. Go ahead and eat it. We can talk once you're finished.
Yes!
Bread and water.
Oh, thank you. I snatched the bread and water she was holding out for me. Within seconds, it was in my mouth and making its way toward my stomach. Whew, that really hit the spot. Now I've got all the energy I need to keep going.
So you still haven't given up then?
Of course not. After all, the fact that I can keep going forward is about all I'm good at.
Well, that's not such a bad thing to be good at.
Should I talk to her again? I guess so, probably. But Kyoko, why'd you come here to rescue me?
To pay a debt. Or no, to atone.
Atone.
During the trial, even though you knew I was lying, you didn't say anything.
So, you knew that I knew.
But even though I knew, I did nothing to help you. I abandoned you.
Don't say that, you didn't abandon me.
No, that's exactly what I did. I abandoned you in order to save my own life. You were trying to save me, and I couldn't bring myself to do the same for you. But listen, that's not what I'm trying to make excuses. Why I'm trying. But there was a reason.
Hold it! Why did you have to survive?
I'll tell you. I'll tell you everything.
Do it now.
The reason I had to survive
Do it.
is so that I can do what I came to the school to do. I'll go as best I can.
What?
I made up my mind to come to Hope Speak Academy for
What?
one very important
Hold
reason.
it.
Why are you both speaking so fast?
He wants-
I'm in a hurry.
Okay, but why is Ashley speaking
Because
so
I'm trying to help him get through it, I guess.
Oh my god. So you have some reason for coming to Hope's Peak?
That's right. At least I did once.
Okay, you can slow it down a little bit.
Okay.
So it's entertaining at least once.
Until recently, I'd forgotten what it was.
You forgot? But that's
I had no memory of what my purpose was.
no memory. That's impossible.
Amnesia?
Then is it really true? You lost your memory?
Do you remember, Makoto? Do you remember the first thing that happened to each of us as soon as we arrived at the school?
The first thing. You're talking about when we fainted, right? I fainted, and when I woke up, I was trapped here.
I fainted too, and when I woke up, I noticed a strange feeling of separation within myself, a disconnect. Thinking back on it now, at that point my memory was gone. At that time, I'd forgotten. I couldn't remember why I'd come to the school, and I couldn't remember what my ultimate ability was.
But what would make you forget all that?
Strange, isn't it? It's hard to imagine it happened by chance.
Strange, isn't it?
Strange!
Fuck up.
It seems much too convenient.
Sorry.
He's really invested.
Are you saying you think you lost your memory because...
I don't think. I'm positive it was the work of the mastermind. They stole my memory.
But why would they want to do that?
There's only one reason I can come up with, because of my purpose and my ability. Somehow, they would interfere with the Mastermind's plans.
So the Mastermind just stole them from you?
And it could also mean, somehow, my memories may be connected to the mystery of the school and the Mastermind, which is why I have to get them back. That's why I've been investigating things by myself this whole time.
But if what you say is true, why didn't you ask the rest of us to help you?
If I did that and we all worked as one, the Mastermind would have noticed right away. Plus, there's always that chance that the Mastermind is actually one of us.
What?
Well, don't make too big a deal of it. It's just a possibility. But it is a possibility. We can't ignore it, right?
It's Oi, has to be.
I like her.
And of course, she couldn't trust anyone around her, in which case it only makes sense she would look into her missing memory by herself.
That being said, there was a limit to what I could do by myself, which is why I asked you to help me.
But why me?
Because among everyone, you were least likely to be the Mastermind. That was just intuition, but...
I see. Your intuition was right, though. There's no way an ordinary kid like me could have been the Mastermind. I understand. I should understand everything. My goal isn't to get out of here. It's to stay here. Yeah. It's just like the dream I had before, but why did that just happen?
Are you okay?
Oh yeah, it's nothing. It is nothing, right?
Even now, I still trust you, you know. It's just, I'm not used to relying on others. I know I never asked you for the help right away, so I understand if you're not convinced.
Honestly, I was convinced. I think that's just her personality. Should I talk to her again?
There was another,
You said you had a reason for doing all that investigating on your own. So, how'd that turn out? Were you able to remember anything?
I think there's still a lot I don't remember, but at the very least, I was finally able to recall my purpose.
Hold it!
Oh,
You mentioned your ability.
my ability, what everyone should have known me for. I'm the ultimate detective.
Makes sense.
That was plain as
The
day.
ultimate ace attorney.
Yeah, I'm the real ace attorney.
The ultimate detective.
And the reason I came to Hope's Peak Academy was there was someone
You had to find someone. Who?
Well, it was the headmaster of Hope's Peak Academy.
The headmaster? Why did you want to find the headmaster?
Because he's my father. Luke! I am your father!
What?
I was separated from him as a child. As it turns out, he became the headmaster of Hope's Peak.
Kyoko's dad is Hope's Peak's headmaster? Then that explains when Alter Ego told us he thought the headmaster was
That's why I
involved.
got pissed. I'll find a way.
Huh?
No, no matter what it
Retroactively
takes,
changing.
I will
Of
find.
course,
I just
retcon.
like that anytime you do
Ah.
that.
I will find the headmaster, no matter the cost.
Yoko, what's going on? You're going crazy.
My memory hadn't come back at that point, but when he said that, I felt strange. It makes perfect sense now, of course, since my whole purpose for coming here was to find him.
That makes sense.
But listen, Makoto, I want to make this perfectly clear so there's no misunderstanding. I said the headmaster wasn't the mastermind, but I didn't say that to protect him. I only said that I felt what I felt based on what I'd seen when I snuck into the headmaster's room.
Then what did you see in
His
there?
corpse. The room had been ransacked. The shelves were a mess, the desk drawers dumped on the floor. The only conclusion is that someone who didn't know where anything had been in there.
You mean the mastermind, right?
That was my assumption, yes, and to confirm my suspicion, I decided to investigate the second floor of the dorms using the key I'd found.
But why there?
Because I also found this in the headmaster's room.
This is some kind of map?
It's a layout of the entirety of Hope's Peak Academy. I found it in the headmaster's room along with Mukuro's profile and that key. The map showed that the second floor was home to a number of rooms meant for faculty use. Some of the staff must have had to stay overnight from time to time, and I figured the headmaster would have some kind of private room there. I assumed that if that were true, that room would likely hold more clues. So I went to check, and that's when I finally remembered. I remembered that my purpose was to find the owner of that room.
So, you went there to see if the headmaster really did have a private room there.
But once I got there, I noticed that the second floor of the dorms...
Hold it.
I need to cover the motors!
So what was it like, that part of the school, I mean?
It's hard to describe. All I can say is, the moment I saw it, I realized whatever's going on in this school is more horrific than we ever imagined.
What do you mean?
I can't explain it. You need to see it for yourself, and I'm sure you'll get your chance soon enough.
It sounds like it must be important, and really ominous. Keep talking to her? Guess so.
Of course, once I got to the second floor of the dorms, there were no cameras and no monitors, which is why I had no idea what was going on
Hold it.
in the rest of the building.
It has to do with Mukuro Ikasaba, doesn't it?
Just to be perfectly clear, I didn't kill her, And I know it wasn't you, either.
I know you're right, but that just means everybody but you and me had an alibi. So then who did kill her?
What I can say for sure is that the mastermind is directly involved. To begin with, the point of the class trial of Mukuro Ukusaba was to get me killed.
Get you killed?
I stole that key and disappeared, and in retaliation, they wanted to draw me out and eliminate me. That was the point of the class trial.
It was?
The mastermind knew they couldn't interfere directly.
You mean because of the school regulations?
Exactly.
With minimal restrictions, you are free to explore Hope's Peak Academy at your discretion.
Wing!
Don't know what voice this is.
It's the swing. The mastermind is adamant about following the rules, and with that rule in place, they couldn't step in. Since they couldn't kill me themselves, they tried to use the class trial to do it. They tried to cheat.
The mastermind couldn't step in because of the rules? That makes it sound like
Cheating!
the mastermind themselves is somehow bound by the school regulations.
There's one other thing I'd like to point out about the murder of Mukuro Ikusaba.
What's that?
There was a point where Mukuro may not have become the victim. It could have been you, Makoto.
Hold it. I could have become the victim?
Yeah, remember that picture? You know what I'm talking about, right? The one you keep seeing?
Do you mean
Your favorite
Your favorite image!
do you know it?
I can hear them, you know, the voices. The footsteps of the god of death.
Holy
I'm
shit.
crazy! Woo!
What?
Yeah, I killed him. I can hear the god of death as he moves. That ability naturally draws me into cases just like this, which is exactly what happened with you. I was in the dorms, and I had a sudden sense of dread. I looked down the stairwell, and I saw a white shadow across the corridor. I gave chase right away. As I followed it, I saw the shadow go into your room. Again! With your favorite image!
Yes.
I ran into your room, and I saw what was happening, of course. I intervened immediately, of course. That wasn't the end of things, of course. I stopped them, but that led to, of course. Whoever the mass assailant was, they ended up dead, of course. And their murder was disguised, and the dojo key wound up in my room. It all had to be the work of the mastermind.
Hold it. So all this would mean that whoever killed Mukuro is also the mastermind, right?
I don't have conclusive evidence, but that's what I think.
That's really bad if true. It means the mastermind can kill whoever they want if they feel like it. Wait, but doesn't that create another contradiction? The mastermind wanted to use the class trial to try and kill you because they couldn't interfere, right?
You're right, that is a contradiction. And it's not just Mukuro. They needed the class trial to kill me, but seemed ready to kill you in your room. Everything they did is a contradiction.
So what does it all mean?
It means that the mastermind is the one who's been cornered.
Huh?
Just a little more, and I should be able to figure out the mastermind's identity. The identity of the other ultimate despair.
Crazy hand.
Crazy Hand! I'm calling him Crazy Hand.
No, it's because Master Hand and Crazy
Oh, yeah, I know.
Yeah, okay. The other ultimate despair.
There's no doubt that Mukuro was the ultimate despair and that she's dead. But I don't think the ultimate despair is just one person.
It's not?
If you think about it, the ultimate despair seems to implicate whoever caused that event.
You're talking about...
What happened a year ago? The biggest, most awful, most tragic event in human history?
It's Katy Perry!
Swish, swish, bish!
Yeah, in case you didn't remember we made that joke.
Katy Perry's
She's the mastermind!
Alright, the tragedy. Whoever's responsible for that. They're the ultimate despair?
That despicable group whose only purpose and motivation comes from despair.
Then there.
Make no mistake, they're the root of all the evil that has forced us to go through this. That is the ultimate despair, and that is our real enemy. Chapter 5 is over!
Is there still another chapter?
There is another chapter.
Yeah.
That's why we're like,
How long is this chapter?
the longest.
Are you serious?
No.
No, actually, no, it's not the longest. It's
How long is it?
Well,
It's the trial. The trial is
it's
the...
an
There's still
investigation
another
and a
trial?
Yes.
Yes. And another investigation.
God fucking
An
damn
investigation and a trial. I'm sorry, Doug.
I mean, we can
But at the
keep
very least,
going.
we can get up to beginning the investigation.
We can even
fine.
get through the investigation
Oh,
if you
cool, you
want.
got a present.
Look,
No,
it's a
okay,
3
because if
mile rocket.
we do the investigation tonight, I'm gonna want to do everything
yeah.
tonight.
You know what we can do? Do you work tomorrow?
Dream
No.
on Rocket.
Tomorrow after he's done with work.
Tomorrow evening, maybe. I don't know. We'll figure it out off camera, so it's not in the episode. The Ultimate Despair, a group of people who caused the tragedy over 1 year ago. Those same people put together this killing game and began broadcasting it around the world. The most desperately awful group of people ever, Hollywood. That is the mastermind's true identity. Our enemy has finally been revealed.
All those fucking perverts did this to us.
But
Those
right now,
assholes. Right now, we have to get out of this horrible place. It smells. Figuring out the rest of the story can come after.
yeah, you're right.
It smells really bad in here, Makoto. Like shit.
Okay. Kyoko, do you still have that one thing? Monokuma's secret tool you got from the headmaster's
You mean
room?
my llaves? Of course. It's an absolutely vital part of ensnaring the mastermind. I would never part with it. By the way, llaves means key.
And it can open any door in the school, right?
That's right.
And we should be able to use it on that door, right? Should I
Yeah,
tell her
click the
that?
door.
Just click the door.
Whatever.
Clicky the dory. Dory!
Hey, Kyoko, we can use that key of yours to open this door, right?
Let's find out.
Kyoko,
Fucking wrong.
That is
Yeah,
a
right?
pretty...
Either that or the door is much smaller than I thought it was.
Kyoko took out the key with the Monokuma design on it and slid it through the keyhole. And then... Yes, it opened!
Let's get out of here. And now we can get out of here. Let's go. Get out of
Sounds
here.
good. We quickly opened the door and made our escape from the garbage pit.
Ugh.
Finally. We were finally free. But there wasn't even time to take a breath of relief, because the real fight had just begun.
Chapter 6.
Ultimate pain, ultimate suffering, ultimate despair, ultimate execution, ultimate death.
Man, that sounds like the end.
Yup. After leaving the garbage pit, we found ourselves in a tunnel extending straight up like a chimney. There was a metal ladder leading up into the tunnel. We started climbing the ladder, intent on reaching the surface.
Nice upskirt. I have lingerie.
That's great. The ladder was impossibly long. I couldn't even see where it ended.
Oh, actually, that's
we
kinda
climbed
hot.
into darkness.
Huh.
Cut. Ashley,
Jesus.
focus. Her eyes are up here.
My eyes are up here!
The passage was so dark and cramped,
Actually,
I couldn't
that-
even see my own feet beneath me.
That was something from the anime, I believe. Like, Makoto's often like, ladies first, and like, fucking serious.
Yeah.
I had no idea we were so far down.
Don't lose your footing. If you slip, I won't be able to catch you.
Yeah, I'll be careful. But now that you said it, I'm getting kind of nervous. Maybe talking will help keep my mind off it. So Kyoko, there's something I wanted to ask you. You said you're the ultimate detective, right? So how long have you been doing detective work?
How long? Ever since I can remember. I come from a long line of detectives. Detective work is in my blood. There was a time when being a detective was considered a sacred duty. My family's always seen it that way.
Then, is your family famous?
Quite the opposite, actually. Even among actual detectives, many people haven't heard of us.
Huh? But how come? It's like your family tradition, right? So...
Because we take pride in it.
Pride?
A detective is neither light or shadow. We represent neither justice nor evil. That is how we can uncover the absolute truth. We stand neutral in all things, and to do that, we have to stand separate from the rest of society, which is why we've made a conscious effort to conceal our existence and remain true neutral.
A conscious effort.
It's kind of old-fashioned, and I can't say it's entirely rational, but it's our family's creed, and we do
Assassin's Creed.
and we do what we must to protect it, because, like I said, it's our source of pride.
Pride. So that explains...
It's a
Before I came here, when I was looking up info about the school online, I never saw anything about her, because she hid herself on purpose to protect the pride of her family.
And yet, I gave up some of that pride.
Huh?
In order to enter Hope's Peak, I had to reveal myself to the school. I did it knowing it was something a true Kirigiri detective would never do.
I keep forgetting that's her last name?
Yeah. Everybody
So-
calls her Kirigiri because
yeah.
it's just easier.
But the reason you gave up that pride, the reason you'd go so far to enter Hope's Peak, it was because that's how much you wanted to reconnect with your dad, right? There's no shame in that.
Reconnect? I had absolutely no desire to reconnect with my father.
Huh? But you'd be reuniting after all these years, right? You would have had so much to talk about.
There's nothing I want to talk to my father about. There is something I want to say to him, though.
What?
No matter what it takes, I have to find him and tell him, face to face.
What is it?
Fuck you!
Fuck
Yeah,
you,
basically.
Dad, for making me go here, you bitch! I want to sever all ties with him.
Sever.
The last time I saw him, I was still very young, so I don't remember myself, but apparently he was extremely intelligent. He was in line to become the next head of the Kirigiri family. He was talented, and he had a promising future. But he had no interest in detective work, so he cut himself off from the family. Not long after that, my mother died, and he simply just ran away. He went to my grandfather, and they had a huge argument. And young as I was, he left me behind.
I'm sure there was a reason for that. I'm sure your dad wanted to take you with him.
If that's true, then I need to thank him. Thank him for leaving me. Because unlike him, I take pride in the work I do. I take pride in my family name. So every last part of me is happy he didn't take me with him. If I'd gone with him, I never would have had the chance to become a detective.
I was above Kyoko on the ladder, so I wasn't able to see her expression, so I couldn't tell. I couldn't see how she looked when she said that, what she might have been feeling. All I could tell was that compared to her usual self, she was more talkative and more emotional.
I don't blame him, you know. He had his own life to live. That's what anyone in my position might say, right? But it's not true. But there's one thing I can never forgive.
Really?
The way everyone else looked at me. I was never sad about being left behind. Like I said, I think it was a good thing. But when the rest of my family looked at me, they saw something different. They only saw me as the little girl that was abandoned by her father. That's how they see me even to this day. His shadow has been following me my entire life. I'm sick of it. I need him out of my life. I need to step out of his shadow. That's why I have to find him and tell him we're no longer family. In order to settle the past. In order to remove him from my life forever. I have no doubt he forgot about me years ago.
But your family. They just cut him out like that.
Our only connection is through blood. Nothing more. Are we connected by heart and soul? No. Is blood really enough to call someone family?
Only connected by blood, not by heart or soul. I was so shocked to hear her say something like that, I didn't even know how to respond. So instead, I said nothing. Great, Makoto. I just kept climbing the ladder in complete silence, and after I don't know how long, we finally reached the top.
Yay, got to the top. Finally, we've been down here for ages.
It was a long-ass conversation. Looks like this is it.
On the other side of this door, Hope's Peak is waiting for us.
We're back.
In black. Remember that hatch on the ground near that trash room? I'm fairly certain that's where we'll come out. I unlocked it earlier, so it should open without much trouble.
Well, here goes nothing. I reached my right hand up and pushed against the hatch.
It's stuck.
Yeah, it's...
Oh,
yeah,
we're fucked.
Well, we're fucked. Yep.
And that's the end. We got the
hatch opened.
We got the
hatch opened with
the
these-
trash bin ending.
Did you get the broom closet ending?
There's just a 2% chance it won't open. And then you gotta watch the entire conversation again.
Oh my god.
The hatch opened with ease, and so...
Yay, we made it.
Looks like we're back.
In black. But I can't believe how long that ladder was. I'm exhausted.
Can't exactly say we're safe and sound, but at least we're out of there. Now we're back in Hope's Peak Academy. Kyoko, thank you. I never would have gotten out of there without you.
No thanks necessary. I was just returning the favor.
Do I talk to her again, or do I leave? Talk to her again, whatever. So now what do we do? I'm glad I didn't die, of course, but if the Mastermind finds out, and I'm worried about you too. You helped me, so they might.
You're worried?
Yeah, of course.
Then let's just get a concrete answer.
Huh?
Let's ask Monokuma if there's a problem with you escaping.
Wait, that's...
If we try to hide, it's only a matter of time till we're found out. It's not like we can run away.
As she said that, she pointed at the nearby surveillance
They already
camera.
know we're here.
So you're saying rather than stressing out over getting caught, we should just give up now?
Don't worry. What you think is going to happen isn't. Because the Mastermind is the one that's ensnared.
The Mastermind is ensnared. You said something like that before. What does it mean?
The Mastermind stood exposed during the investigation into Mukuro's death. There was a moment where the Mastermind let their guard down.
There was?
If we can talk to Monokuma, we can confirm it. And it'll be better for us if we go to him directly before he tracks us down. That should help with our negotiations.
I'm still a little, super uneasy about this. But we don't really have a choice, do we?
Monokuma should be in the gym. Let's get going. To the gym, let's go. Makoto, to the gym.
I'm just gonna go there.
Okay.
I like the suspense that it adds.
Oh, you like?
Well, now it's important.
Now it's actually good. This is the best part of the game.
Great. It only took me 3 months.
Sorry.
It took me 3 months to get
You know
to
what's
the
good
good
though
part.
is that we are gonna finish this before.
Shut up. The
Before my
entire
trip.
game was a good part, except
We're gonna finish.
Except most of it.
We're gonna finish this before my trip. Yay!
well, I mean, if you
Jim.
continue it tomorrow.
We should.
I'm so down for continuing tomorrow.
Hey! Kyoko, I don't mind so much. But Makoto's supposed to be dead! What's he doing here?
That's exactly how I thought he'd react. Are we really gonna be okay?
They were supposed to be punished! Did Kyoko help you?
So what if I did? What will you do, bitch?
If the guilty party is exposed during the class trial, they alone will be executed.
Okay.
It's unfortunate, but that is the rule.
Okay.
So now I gotta punish you again, and this time I won't leave anything to chance.
Kyoko!
Do whatever you feel you have to.
What?
But before you do, let me just say one thing. If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
What fucking voice is that?
Doing
That's
the
not,
Austin hello?
that's not Kyoko's voice
I
at all.
know. I thought for
Please
some
take this
Not how-
seriously for
Okay.
me.
If you execute Makoto, that means you lose. Not that that matters to you, right?
Huh? I lose? You! Explain yourself! What do you mean by that?
Well, you set up this latest class trial yourself, right? I was getting in your way, so you wanted an excuse to kill me. I was supposed to be chosen as the blackened and then executed, right?
Hey, what are you talking about?
But then when Makoto chose to overlook my lie, your plan came crashing down. The results of this trial weren't at all what you were expecting, because you never imagined that in that position, one person would protect another like that. And in response to that unexpected development, you reacted by proclaiming Makoto the blackened and trying to execute him. You made the choice out of desperation. No, more than that. You must have realized that Makoto, who refused to be manipulated, was a threat to you as well.
The speechless bear.
For once. But then there was another unexpected development waiting for you. An entity that would throw a wrench, so to speak, in your precious execution machinery.
Alter ego.
You never imagined the possibility of a being that could come to our aid even after you'd killed it. Now, here's the absolute truth. Makoto didn't kill Mukuro. You did. So executing Makoto for it would surely be a violation of your rules, which I know you love so much. If the blackened is exposed, they alone will be executed. That's what you told us, right?
And that means I lose? You talk a big game. You're saying the blackened is me and not Makoto? And you can prove this, right?
No, I can't.
Just say it like that.
What is this, a comedy routine? Make such bold claims without a shred of evidence?
I don't have any right now, but with a little more time, I guarantee I'll find some. Because no matter how deeply you try to bury it, there is only ever one absolute truth. Hey!
And now you're trying to talk like some kind of famous detective.
Detective Conan! If Makoto really was the killer, he never would have come to you willingly like this. He would have feared for his life, feared another execution. He would have tried to run and hide. He would have been gripped by the despair you love to inspire. But here we are, confronting you with nothing but hope in our hearts.
And that's supposed to be enough to convince me in the absence of evidence?
It's not you I'm trying to convince. If you were to execute Makoto now, everyone out there watching this would be extremely displeased.
Huh?
Imagine what everyone out there would think if you killed Makoto. They would assume that you killed him because what we said is exactly right. Despair can never kill hope. Of course, you can say we're just making this all up. You're welcome to prove us wrong. No, you have no choice but to prove it. Because if you kill Makoto without proving your own innocence, you'll be accepting your own defeat. If you want to earn our despair fair and square, then I suggest you take my advice.
So, what is this advice of yours?
To do Mukuro's trial over again. Only this time, you follow the school regulations to ensure a fair trial. It's time for one last showdown. One final battle between hope and despair. Well, what would make for a proper climax, wouldn't you say? That would.
A fair trial. One last showdown. In other words, a deadly deception.
Deadly.
This would be our chance to expose the true identity of Mukuro's killer, of the mastermind themselves. But what reason would the mastermind have to accept the challenge? They'll probably just execute me without another word.
Interesting. Very interesting indeed.
Very...
I was getting bored, so I decided to change things up a little. So, time for bear jokes. Now, what you suggest may be possible. It would certainly make for one honey of a climax.
Does that mean you accept?
If we do things your way, that'll be enough to convince you and the viewers, right? It would cause you unbearable despair, right? Then I'm prepared to agree to your terms. Will your hope win out, or will my despair claim victory? Let's have one final grisly showdown.
And
He
dead
agreed.
inside.
And we still have a shot at this.
But this is the long-awaited climax, right? Just guessing the killer is barely a fitting end. So for this final face-off, you'll have to unearth all the mysteries that have been buried
Oh
here.
my god, please.
All the mysteries.
That's right! Every last mystery that's pawing around the school! If you can do that, then that'll be enough to qualify as a victory for you!
That's what we've been trying to do all along.
Hey, Flaw, he loses. Koala's not a bear.
Koala bear.
They're marsupials.
Okay.
I think it fits
They're
with whatever joke
marsupials.
he's doing.
They are marsupials.
So proud of you for knowing that.
BAM!
So bam!
Foreshadowing
Fuck
that he's
you.
gonna lose.
Okay, well, good. Then let's bear it all! If you can claw your way to the truth of Mukuro's death and solve the mysteries of this school, then you win! But if you can't do all that,
We'll all face execution, right?
I can barely contain my excitement! When you learn the whole truth, what kind of despair will you show me?
We're as excited as you are, I'm sure. When we've uncovered every last truth, how will the ultimate despair reveal their own despair?
I honestly can't believe how all this is turning out. Basically same,
But
yeah.
before we get started, I want to clarify one more thing. Do you remember the rule? When one student kills another, that's when a class trial is held.
I remember that, for sure.
my God.
So what?
I just want to confirm that is what you said, right? And it's a true statement.
You don't have to be so suspicious. I said it before, but it bears repeating. Everything is based on the school regulations, and having a trial for Mukuro is no exception to that.
Huh? Mukuro's trial is no exception. Then it's part of the regulations. Which would mean that whoever killed Mukuro...
It's a very polarizing approach, I know, but okay, enough puns. Anyways, here's a hint. I'm sure I told you this already, but this killing game began with 16 participants, all of them high school students. And the only people to take a single step in Hope's Peak since the killing game began are those 16 students.
What?
Are you telling the truth?
Why do you go quiet all of a sudden?
I'm done talking. I got nothing left to say to you. So get lost, would ya?
Why so mad?
So serious.
It's only game.
It's only game. He seems emotionally unstable.
Leave me alone. Get out of here.
Well, you have to be mad.
Like you.
Okay, I'm going. You really gonna let me go?
I don't even care anymore. You're just gonna get your punishment later anyway. I need to start getting it ready. A super duper extra special punishment overflowing with despair.
Come on, Makoto. Let's go.
Okay. Fucking hate this game.
Good game.
Monokuma's unstable laughter seemed to cling to us as we walked away. And just like that, we were out of the game.
And just like that, next time on Root Beer Gamers.
Next time
Next time
on
on Ruber
Root Beer
Gamers. Investigating. That's what we do.
Yep.
Yeah.
Investigating.
The last investigation.
The last investigation.
For some reason, I feel like that should also be like a Root Beer Gamer slogan. Be like, investigating. It's what we do.
Alright, see you guys.
See you guys.
See ya.